Mr. Utterson received a message from a police inspector. The inspector asked Utterson to come to the police headquarters at Scotland Yard. He went to Scotland Yard early in the morning. Thanks for coming so early in the morning.
That's all right. How can I help you?
There's been a murder.
Who has been a murder?
We don't know the dead man's name, but he was carrying a letter addressed to you, so we think that you know him. Can you identify the body for us?
Show me the body. I will tell you the man's name if I know it.
Okay, sir. Please follow me. The inspector took Mr. Utterson to the mortuary. The bodies were identified by friends or relatives. There was a body laying under a black bag in the mortuary. The inspector pulled back the bag, showing the man's face.
I know him. He's Denver's Carril. He's a famous doctor.
Thank you, sir.
You said that he was carrying a letter addressed to me.
Yes, he was.
Do you know what happened? Who murdered him? Where? Why?
I have a statement from a witness here. You can read it.
Thank you.
My name is Maldon. I'm a servant. I work for Mr. Parker and I live in Mr. Parker's house on the corner of Regent Street and Cavendish Square. My room is at the top of the house and I can see into Cavendish Square.
Okay, now tell me what you saw.
Last night, at about 11 o'clock, I went to my room. I looked out of my window and saw the corner of Cavendish Square. There was only one person on the street. An old gentleman with white hair was walking towards Cavendish Square. He was well dressed and he had something in his hand, a paper or white envelope. Then I saw another man walking towards the old gentleman. The second man was small. He carried a walking stick in his hand. I had seen this man before. I think he lives near here. He came to Mr. Parker's house once with a message for Dr. Jekyll. I remember the man because I was afraid of him. I don't know why I was afraid of him. I remember his name. He's called Mr. Edward Hyde. The old gentleman stopped Mr. Hyde and spoke to him. He showed him the paper in his hand. Perhaps he was asking for directions to an address. Mr. Hyde suddenly became very angry. I couldn't hear what he said, but he laughed at his walking stick. The old gentleman seemed surprised and started to move away from Mr. Hyde. But Mr. Hyde hit the old gentleman with the stick. The gentleman fell down and Mr. Hyde hit him again on the head. He hit him so hard that the walking stick broke. I didn't see any more because I fainted and fell down on the floor. When I was able to stand up, I looked out of the window again. The old gentleman lay in the street. I could see blood coming from his head. I called Mr. Parker. He sent someone to get the police.
So that's what's happened. Your postman found that Sir Danvers was dead.
Yes, they also found the letter Sir Danvers was carrying. It was addressed to you. That's why I called you this morning. We also found half of a broken walking stick.
I see.
Do you know Mr. Hyde?
I met Mr. Hyde once.
Could this be Mr. Hyde's walk stick?
I don't know if this Hyde stick, but I can take you to the place where Mr. Hyde lives.
They took a cab and went to Mr. Hyde's house. That was at the East End. Open up!
He's gone. What do you want?
Are you the owner of the house? I want to see inside. I'm a policeman.
He is in trouble, is he? I'll open the door. What he done? You want Edward Hyde, do you? He paid me rent to live in those 2 rooms on the ground floor. Last night, he came here and gave me some money. He said he was going away to France, perhaps.
Utterson and the inspector looked around the 2 rooms, and the rooms had expensive furniture in them, and they were untidy. There were clothes on the floor. Drawers were open. There were some burned papers in the fireplace. The other half of the walking stick was behind the door. There was blood on it. Hyde is the man we want. Hyde is the murderer of Sir Danvers Carril. We must find him and arrest him. We will search everywhere for Mr. Edward Hyde.